This is Hacker News. It's kind of like Reddit, but it's only tech posts, and you'll be less distracted here. Maybe. When an article makes the front page on Hacker News, it gets tons of exposure. Lots of people will blog about the exposure they got on Hacker News on the front page, and at the end of this video, I'll talk about what kind of effect being on the front page had for me. So last week, this sign-up page for the upcoming Next.js conference made the Hacker News front page. And it made the front page because the sign-up has multiplayer on it. And at first I'm like, why would a sign-up page have multiplayer on it? But it's actually really fun to toy around with, so that's why they made the front page. And that means more eyeballs and more signups. And well, now I see why they added multiplayer. So as I was playing with it, I thought, I wonder if I could establish communication with these other tiny little cursors. Like maybe if I wave my cursor around and do it in the shape of letters and numbers, then I could spell words and like these people would catch on or something. Then I realized that when people click, a little circle emanates from their cursor, and I started trying to click letters in the welcome message to try to spell hello. But there's no O. And it was right about now that I realized that you can actually sign up for the conference and then you can just type a message and people can read it. So that whole time I was trying to communicate with these people like I'm talking to aliens or something. But now that communication's in the bag, the real question is, can I use this newfound power to assert dominance over others?
That was easy.
Though attempts at trying to make them laugh was a completely different story. Then I realized my cursor is basically sitting on the front page of Hacker News, and I know the effect that being on the front page can have, so I pop a link to my YouTube channel at the top of the page. And after taking a couple stabs at it, I sit back and wait for my numbers to climb. So as I've been playing with the sign up page, I've learned a few things about it. First, as I mentioned, they show mouse clicks to other users. Second, that while users are on the same page, they can actually see different screens. So one person could see the sign up form while the other's looking at the main welcome screen. This made my whole click letters in the message and hope people understand it kind of unfeasible. And lastly, there's a max of around 20 people per room. So that last one means that I could never get that many people to look at my little plug at the same time, like a max of 20 people. I tried leaving it there for a couple minutes, but eventually I realized this is kind of pathetic. So when all is said and done, analytics on my YouTube account show that my little advertising campaign here actually made no difference in my view count whatsoever. Plus, in order to even have a chance at this making a difference, I'd have to sit here like all day since the text disappears once your mouse leaves the tab. I'll pass on that one. And since I didn't get any followers or fame from this, the next best thing I could do was start opening up a bunch of tabs in the same room and just follow myself around for a while. So I didn't get the payoff that I was expecting that other people get from being on the front page, but I got to dig into how this page works and kind of toy with the technology a little bit. And this is just one small example that for every interesting thing you see online, there's some interesting technology behind it. Sometimes you can push the limits of apps and find bugs or loopholes that are actually lucrative, and other times you just end up following yourself around the internet for a few minutes.